You think...
Bringing you the finest entertainment on this side of the void. Game reviews, movie reviews, tales and myths from the supernatural unknown, unsavory food reviews, clown world news, and much more, all wrapped up in one extremely mediocre yet morbidly amusing online television channel, the Shady Gamer Channel. Entertainment, but not for everyone.
Have you ever wondered what would happen if Disney decided to somehow buy the rights to the Lovecraft mythos? It's not too outlandish to think about, since modern Disney is a fat, gluttonous, sugar-like abomination that consumes any intellectual properties and brands as it slithers along to the bang. Obviously they'd fuck it up. That's kinda their stick now. But what if old school Disney adopted the Lovecraftian cosmic horror for, let's say, a video game? Well, I'm pretty sure you'd get something along the lines of Gibbous, a Cthulhu adventure. A quirky, humorous point-and-click adventure with a sassy talking cat. And, as in good Lovecraftian fashion, the Necronomicon stirs shit up just by existing. Perfectly stereotypical private investigator Don archetype is hired by a mysterious benefactor to retrieve the Necronomicon, which leads him to the Miskatonic Library in Darkham. Yep, there's quite a few references to Lovecraftian lore, names and locations in the game. Always nice. Anyway, some shenanigans go down and Don gets kidnapped by a cult. Librarian and bland everyday man Buzz Kerwin stumbles upon the Book of Evil and Dark Stuff itself and ends up making his cat, Kitty, talk by randomly using a spell from the book. Super creative name for a cat, by the way. The sassy feline isn't too pleased she's now stuck speaking our human rubbish language, so Buzz and his mouthy pet set out to reverse the spell, but along the way, Don, Buzz and Kitty find out that a talking cat is the least of their problems as a world-ending cosmical horror threat looms over them. While not a full-blown parody, the game manages to create a humorous spin to the Lovecraft mythos while still staying true to its basics, and not evolving in anything childish or edgy. As mentioned before, it's a point-and-clicker, so expect puzzle solving, collecting and combining nonsensical items, and a lot of dialogue. In this case there might have been a bit too much dialogue, and could have done with some condensing of set dialogues. It needlessly stretches out the game with the player just reading stuff, which can be bothersome for some people. For me personally, it made some characters appear annoying to me. Especially one of the main characters, Buzz, got really annoying with his eye-rolling, cringy dialogue at times. At some parts I felt the game would be better if they had cut him out of the game and have had the stoic detective Don and the sassy wise-mouthed cat, Kitty, bounce off each other. But that's an opinion. The story is your standard end-of-the-world prophecy with fishy monsters and tentacles, yet sometimes the game ends up overcomplicating itself. Also, fleshing out its villain a bit more would have helped the story a lot. If you've been watching the game footage, then you might agree with me that the main selling point of the game is its visuals. This is where the old school Disney vibes come into play. With its traditionally animated mix of Disney and Ghibli-esque visuals used to bring to life its Lovecraft-inspired settings, the graphics really are an eye-catcher. And since a lot of Lovecraftian abominations sport multiple dozens of eyes, that's saying a lot. Gibbous, a Cthulhu adventure, is a quirky point-and-click game that mixes two things you normally would not expect together, being cosmic horror and whimsical cartoony humor. While being plagued with overly long dialogue and jokes that sometimes fell flat here and there, as a whole, it's an enjoyable point-and-click game that would put a smile on an orifice resembling a mouth of many eldritch creatures squirming beyond the stars.